What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Monday team here. You have myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with JD from Line Movers, and we have Ben from We Beat the Spread. Guys, today's a fantastic sports day. Today is the equinox / cornucopia of sports. We have baseball, we have NFL, we have hockey, we have basketball. All four major U.S. sports are live today, so it is one of the best days of the year, at least in my opinion. JD, over to you. How are you today?
But I'm doing really good. This weekend, specifically Saturday for me, was definitely not a good day. But actually, like as far as sports goes, was a great weekend though. Yesterday we saw a bunch of crazy shit. Like it was just a really fun day.
Let me tell you one thing. We talked last week that we didn't think Jaden Daniels was going to be able to play. He didn't practice all week. Friday, there became some growing optimism that he may be able to give it a go. That Hail Mary, where he just ran around for an hour, launched it up, and found Noah Brown in the back of the end zone, by far was the craziest moment for me. Ben, over to you. What you think about this weekend in sports, and how are you today? Wait. Before you two start saying about that, over to the comments. Nick Castrucci, I've been waiting for this comment, bro. You get to see these two beautiful men with me cluck on Friday. We have to have Jammer on here because he was part of that bet as well. But you will get to see that, Nick. We're all very excited. It's not me this time. I agree. It's a big day. Sorry, Ben. Had to cut you off there.
No, that's all right. Much like JD, Saturday was not quite our day. I gave out Robert Whitaker on here. Kamzat Chimaev just once again dismantled another opponent. Didn't see that one necessarily. Well, I sort of did in the first because I
same boat.
If it got out of the first round, he would have done a little bit better. And then also had Max Holloway. And I just got to say, Ilya Topuria is the most impressive fighter on the roster by far. To knock out Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway back-to-back, two guys who almost never get finished in the fashion that he did it, he's easily pound for pound. I don't want to hear it about any other guy except for, obviously maybe the Peloton himself. But other than that, it was a pretty decent weekend yesterday with NFL.
Absolutely. It was a good weekend. Over to the comments. Bill Norman is in our YouTube. He's here per usual saying, "What's up, fellas? Happy Monday. We are excited to have you here." Bill Logan is here as well saying, "What's up, guys?" We appreciate both you guys tuning in as always. Same with Nick. We appreciate all our viewers, guys. And per usual, if you have any questions in the chat, please drop them. We are here to help you guys in any way that we can. So that's going to basically be our weekend recap. There wasn't too much to go over. Ben put it perfectly with the UFC. I quickly want to add, I thought that Whitaker fight would have been a little bit better myself. I was with you there. We kind of capped it, though, pretty well, Ben. We took the wrong side, but we did say, if Kamzat's going to win, he is going to get it done in the first round. If Robert Whitaker can survive that first round, we felt confident he would win this over the 5-round fight, and unfortunately he did not. I believe his jaw snapped. You saw all the images.
Yeah, no, he actually looked, he was fighting off hooks well. Like he was fighting the hands. Like he was actually doing everything well for a few minutes there because he got taken down literally right away. And he didn't get submitted until like the final minute. So he was grappling well for most of the round. And then it's just Kamzat at a certain point, if he's on your back for 3-4 minutes, he's going to get you out of there. So, it is what it is. That's kind of how we predicted it. So like you said, if he would have gotten out first, I would have loved it a lot more, but.
Couldn't agree more. Well, fellas, we're going to move into the first game and the first sport that we have today, which is going to be the NBA. So let's dive into the first matchup we're breaking down, which is going to be the Indiana Pacers, who are coming into this game 1-2. They're 1-1 on the road. They are visiting Orlando, taking on the Magic, who are 2-1 on the year and 1-0 at home. JD, I'm very curious what you like in this game, so we're going to start with you. We do know the injury news that recently happened to Indiana. James Wiseman, I believe, tore his Achilles. It may have been his ACL. I'm pretty sure it was his Achilles, though, and he is going to be out for the year, so that's going to be a big loss to this Indiana team. What do you think about this matchup, JD?
Yeah, this is tonight. This is probably going to be my favorite play. You have the Pacers here. They are on the second night of an actual back-to-back. They actually played an overtime game yesterday. Believe they ended up losing that. As far as minutes goes, as far as the starters, they actually logged a big night. Siakam, I believe, played 40. Turner played 37. I believe that Halliburton also played 37. Yes. Yep. So tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if actually somebody sits. But even if they don't, I am actually fine here. because as this game goes on, you actually know like tired legs, and I expect to see the Magic actually like pull away here. As I actually talked about last week, the Magic, they are definitely a bet on team.
Yep, I agree.
Actually, me, I do have to say I did bet on their team total over. I believe it was Saturday, and I got hooked there. That was a very tough loss for us, but in the first half of that game, they just couldn't make anything. They shot horribly. It was just a bad half. And I really expect them tonight to really just come out here. This is a perfect spot actually like for them. And I expect them to win by actually like 10 plus here. So
there we go.
So yeah, give me the Magic at actually -6 now.
I respect it. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, this line's moved up. I do like the Magic in this spot. Obviously, Paulo continues to get better and better. But something I actually liked in this matchup that JD brought up is the back-to-back angle, because my favorite one in this game is actually a prop. I'm going to take TJ McConnell, the backup point guard, to go over 4.5 assists. I don't think this line's giving him quite the respect he deserves. His floor this year, I know it's only been 3 games, but he's gone 4, 5, and 4. So his floor is kind of sitting around 4, and that's playing under 20 minutes in 2 of those games. Then because of that OT game yesterday, he did play 21. But in this game, I think he could easily touch over 20 minutes, especially with that back-to-back angle. Early on in the season, you don't want to, stress the guys out too much just with that angle. So, and we all know he's a very, very capable point guard when he's on the floor. Like, obviously, it's hard to compete with Halliburton and his assist numbers. But McConnell, when he's on the floor, is usually very, very pass-heavy, and he's used a lot. Like, last year, he was averaging 5.5 assists a game, only playing 18 minutes. So if he's playing over 20 in this matchup, I think he's going to easily hit that number, get at least 5 or 6.
I respect it. And boys, you know what I'm doing for this game. Unfortunately, sometimes the best play is no play. No play for me in this one. Oop, I hit that twice. My apologies. No play for me in this one, guys. I think that the Pacers do win. If I had to definitely pick something, I would go with you guys. The Magic. I think the Magic will win after the Pacers are a little tired and fatigued after a really long game yesterday. Nick put it perfectly in chat, so I do want to pull that up, that he does love fading teams on their back-to-backs, especially on the road, especially after an overtime game that had so much heat to it last night. I agree. I just think 7 points is a lot, 6 to 7, so I am going to hold off this game, but if I were to pick something, I definitely would go with the Magic in this spot on the -6 or -7, whichever book that you guys have. Let's keep it moving, fellas, to the second game, which we have on the slate, which obviously I like a little bit better. We have the Cleveland Cavs coming into New York, taking on the Knicks. The Cavs are coming in 3-0. They're 2-0 on the road. They've looked fantastic this year. On the other side, the Knicks are coming in 1-1. They had an absolutely disaster opening game against the Celtics, but their second game against the Pacers was pretty much the exact opposite. So one game, they looked fantastic. One game, they looked terrible. How do we think this one is going to go? Ben, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so what I was looking at initially in this game, I was thinking about going towards the Knicks, just because, the Cavs are 3-0, but the Knicks are going to get it together kind of as they, mesh with the new pieces they have over there. Of course, picking up Karl-Anthony Towns in the offseason and everything, which, it's a great move for them. And I know that there's such a good defensive team from last year, and Cat wasn't our greatest defensive player. However, I still think their defense is going to do really well in this game, which is why I'm taking under. I was just looking for the updated line, 223.5 in this game. I'm going to go to the under, or it says 223 there on the board. Sorry. But I just think this is going to be kind of one of those grueling, grinding games between two of the best defenses, what I believe are in the NBA. Cavs are top 5. I'd put Knicks easily top 10 defense just with that Cat trade. But that being said, it does kind of have just the feeling of one of those games. It's kind of in the mid-90s in the later stages of the fourth quarter. So I'm going to take the under here.
I respect that. JD, what do you like in this game?
You know what? I'm actually on the other side here. I actually gave out the actual over. It wasn't going to be a show play because I gave it out at actually 221. So yeah, as actually y'all just said, the actual number has actually moved up. And I actually do expect it to probably actually go up a little bit more. So as far as the under, if you actually do like it, I actually would wait to do that. The Cavs have actually come out and actually looked very good.
Yeah, they have.
They haven't really played the best teams yet, but still, they have looked very good. And the Knicks, as far as the total here, the number to me is just off. And the Knicks, as far as their offense, has not shown what they can really do yet. So that's what, for me, makes this number low. But that being said, I did actually give this out to actually clients at actually 221. It has moved up now, so I actually can't give it out here. But the over would actually be like how I would lean.
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking the side of Ben on this one. I apologize, JD, but this Knicks team, I do believe, is going to be an under team most of this year. When you have a team that's filled with guys like OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns, who can provide some offense, but they have a ton of guys that are real legitimate defenders. It's a Tom Thibodeau ran team. So where they like to thrive in the way that Tom Thibodeau always has his teams is playing defense-first basketball and getting out in transition. I think the Knicks are going to slow this game down. The Cavs are going to want to play this game fast. That's what the Cavs are going to want to do. They're going to want to run up and down the court, and the Knicks are going to try and play the exact opposite. They're going to try and limit possessions to keep this one low, and that's exactly what we're playing. It's not a best bet for me, but I am going to be officially on this play to my clients tonight. So it's not one of my favorites tonight, but it is still an official play. Currently, the line's sitting at 223 even. That's exactly what I'm playing, under 223 even. All right, fellas, it is time that we're going to move over to the World Series. We are going to be covering the Dodgers-Yankees game, so let's get right into it, guys. It's a pivotal game three. Pivotal game three. This series has been pretty entertaining, especially entertaining if you're a Dodgers fan. If you're a Yankee fan like myself, it's been a little difficult. The Yankees have had plenty of opportunities to win, but tonight is everything for this Yankees team. If they do not win this game, this is going to end tomorrow or whatever the next game may be. To me, though, I do think the Yankees are going to put up a good performance. I think the Yankees get the win here. Going up against Walker Buehler, he has not been a great pitcher all year long, including the postseason. He is 0-1 with a 6 ERA. Going up for the Yankees is Clark Schmidt, who's been decent at home, but I do think the Yankees will have a very short leash on him today. Aaron Judge has to start hitting. Everyone out there knows the same thing I know, that this guy historically has been the worst player in the postseason for the level of talent that he is that I've ever seen. JD, what do you think about Aaron Judge so far?
Yeah, just like you said, no, but stats back up, he is literally the worst.
Yep.
It's actually nuts to say it, but no, he is actually
You're right.
the worst. But yeah, tonight, tonight on the other hand, I think he has a good shot at maybe hitting something though.
Back at home, I do think tonight is the game. If he's going to break out of it, this would be the one he needs to do it. I think the Yankees are going to show up. This series is never going to be a sweep in either direction. I think everybody can agree that this one is going to go back and forth a little bit. If the Yankees lose this game, that's not going to happen. I do think the Yankees will win this game. This is everything for this team. If the Yankees want to keep Juan Soto and keep the core of their team in New York, they have to start playing in this World Series. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Give me the Yankees tonight at the -145. Ben? Tell us why you're on the Dodgers and how wrong I am.
No, you stole a lot of words out of my mouth with the Judge thing. I said one thing before game one. Well, I said many things before game one of the series. But I said the main thing that I said before the game of the series is I said this series relies on the 3 and 4 spot for the Yankees. Judge and Stanton hitting behind Soto especially because we know he can get on a lot, walks a ton, he's been hitting well. It relies on the 3 and 4 spot, Judge and Stanton, especially Judge, more than anything, but in that cleanup spot as well. And Judge, to your point, you were just talking about, he's 1 for 9 in the World Series with 6 strikeouts, and Stanton's 2 for 9. All right, it might be 2 for 10 actually, 2 for 9. So that right there is the issue with the Yankees, and I believe why they're down 0-2. However, this series could easily be 1-1 if Boone doesn't put Nestor Cortez in game one. It should honestly be 1-1, but it's not. Freddie Freeman had a great hit, got a great pitch. And to that point, took Yankees game 1, barely lost that one. Dodgers game 2. So I feel like I have a pretty good feeling on this series. And I'd love to tell you this, Alpha, because it's the Yankees in game 3.
It has to be.
The 1978 World Series was the same thing. Dodgers, Yankees. Dodgers started the first 2 games at home. They went up 2-0. What happened next? The Yankees won 3 games at home. They went on to win. I think that it'll be kind of the same thing here. The line is screaming the Yankees in this spot. You have Walker Buehler, who you brought up, has been struggling. I think actually the biggest thing for him today is he's struggled with walks. He had multiple starts this year where you'd have 3, 4, even 5 walks. And the biggest thing for why I think Judge gets going tonight is because if Torres gets on, Soto's probably going to take a walk. He might walk 2 or 3 times. He might walk in every at-bat against Buehler tonight. And then you have Judge, who you'll sort of have a place to put him, but not really. You can't walk Judge if you want to with the base loaded. So you're going to have to pitch to Judge tonight because I believe the hitters in front of him will do well. And he just needs to kind of get that one pitch. Like, he's been swinging out his stuff outside the zone. So if he gets a pitch inside the zone, you can't walk him. I think he's going to get a hit tonight. So I'm taking Judge home run, and then I'm also taking the Yankees first 5. I'm only not taking the money line because I don't love the juice, minus 155, whatever you want to get it at. But you take that first 5 minus the half run, it brings it down to nearly even money at minus 105. So I'm only taking first 5 just for that reason, the juice. But I do think that they win the game.
Question for both of you guys. Do you think that the Yankees need to do something with this batting order? We saw in game 2 that the Dodgers moved up Teoscar Hernandez. He hit the big 2-run homer. They also moved up Tommy Edman, who also hit a homer. What did the Yankees do? They rolled out the exact same fucking lineup. Pardon my language. How do you go? Now, do you think they need to change the lineup, boys? What do you think? JD.
I can take this one if you want.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would say maybe try and at least maybe pinch hit Trent Grisham because he has 2 home runs. He has 2 home runs off of Walker Buehler, and you need runs in this game. The tough part is where you're going to bring him in. And I would, because you're going to have Judge and right. Yeah, I mean, it'll be tough, but he has very good
Maybe
numbers.
Verdugo late in the game.
Yeah,
at the 9 spot
Verdugo,
potentially,
especially after blowing bubbles in the outfield. Yeah, I'd say start him over Verdugo.
I would agree to start him too, but here's the big move I think needs to happen. Aaron Judge needs to go to the 5 hole. Get him out of the 3 hole. He cannot be backing up Juan Soto right now when he's an automatic strikeout. I believe he's striking out and 7 of the 9 at-bats in the World Series. That is absolutely pathetic, and then you just have a dead spot right in front of Stanton. I think they need to switch it up and get Judge out of being in front of Stanton and Soto. I think it'll help him mentally. I think it'll help him in the game. I just think he needs to be in the 5 hole. It's something that the Yankees really need to do. I'd also like to see Jason Dominguez. Verdugo isn't providing anything offensively, and we all know Jason Dominguez is the Yankees' top prospect. They called him up because his bat has been incredible all year long. If he can get that bat going and provide some sort of offense here, I think that would be a huge help because the Yankees offensively have been an absolute joke. JD, take on the game?
Yeah, just like y'all guys have already said, man. Game 1 was the Yankees' game. I mean, they just absolutely blew that. They for the first 9 innings of that game, that was just their game.
Yep.
And the way they lost that was just such a crushing way. Dodgers was kind of for me as far as actually game 2 was kind of always going to be a Dodger spot. Then with the way the Yankees lost that game 1, then to me it was definitely a Dodger spot.
Yeah.
So that for me, as far as my series, as far as how I thought it was going to go, the way game 1 ended kind of messed up everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It actually really did. It's crazy how that one little thing can change everything, but it actually really did. But as far as game 3 here, I'm actually with y'all here on this side. As far as the Yankees bats tonight, I think that they can get going here. We have actually Walker Buehler and actually him on the road and in actually Yankee Stadium. That just doesn't seem like it's going to work out well. His actually last start, he actually did pitch well. But actually, if actually you look at the season and over a larger sample size, he has just not been good. And like I said, since they're in actually. And since Yankees are actually home here, in actually their home, actually ballpark, I think we're going to see runs. So with that being said, give me the over. Yeah, to me, if actually y'all have watched this show for a long time, Yankees games overs. That was our favorite play.
Moneymaker.
It just hit for us over and over again, and this is a game where, yes, I like the Yankees to hit runs, but I also think the Dodgers are going to get theirs. Smith, with him pitching at home, he has actually not been as good. And this Dodgers lineup, I just don't think that actually you can hold them down. So instead of having a Dodgers play of actually some kind, with thinking the Yankees are going to also score plenty tonight too, tonight, I definitely like the over. Give me the over actually 8.5 here.
I like that. And the good news for you is if that Aaron Boone goes back to Nestor Cortez, the Dodgers will hit that over 8.5 in that inning alone. So we will see what happens there. More to come, but I think we are all pretty much aligned on how this one will go. We think there's going to be runs, and at least two of us think the Yankees do pull it out. So let's see a high-scoring Yankees winner here. Let's move on, fellas, to the final game that we have on the slate, which is going to be the NFL Monday Night Football showdown between my lowly New York Giants and Jammer's Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben, the Giants are coming in 2-5, but they're 2-1 on the road. On the other side, Pittsburgh's coming in 5-2, but they are also 2-1 at home. So both teams are 2-1 in this specific situation. Russell Wilson back in as starting quarterback this week for the Steelers, which looks like it's good news for them. For the Giants, Daniel Jones has been named starter yet again for them, which is probably bad news for the New York Giants. Ben, how do you think this game plays out?
Yeah, honestly, Daniel Jones has had kind of a tough go in primetime. 1-14 in his career in primetime, 0-7 on Monday Night Football. I don't know how this game is going to go necessarily well for the Giants because they're coming off two offensive efforts of 3 points against an Eagles defense I don't believe is that great. 7 points against the Bengals, who we've seen they've picked it up a little bit, but their defense hasn't been great on the season overall. But then the game before that, they put up 29 on the Seahawks, who also have a terrible defense, but it's just like they're a little inconsistent. I don't think Jones is bad, but I don't think he's always terrible. And I don't think they're going to score less than 10 points again. But this is a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that I've been talking so great about the whole season. So I'm not putting out a play on the spread just because I believe that there's something going on a little bit fishy with this game. The fact that basically everyone on the planet is betting the Steelers, and it's still sitting under a touchdown. There's just something that's not rubbing me the right way. Russell Wilson's looked great. That defense has looked great, but I just can't do it on the spread. However, I am going to be taking a prop, and it's going to be George Pickens over 61.5 receiving yards. The number one receivers for opposing teams against the Giants have been killing them. You go back to that Eagles game. A.J. Brown had 89 yards. You go to the Cincinnati Bengals game. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase both had over 70 yards. You go back to that Cowboys game. CeeDee Lamb had 98 yards. You go to the Seahawks game. Tyler Lockett at 75. DK Metcalf had 55. Like, these guys are crushing the Giants, those top receivers. So, and we just saw in this last game that Russell Wilson absolutely loved George Pickens. He hit him for 9 targets. He only caught 5 of them. He only caught near or a little over half of his targets. Still ended with 111 yards against the Jets, who supposedly have a great secondary. We're seeing that kind of crumble now, but still a decent Jets defense. He put up 111 yards and he had 9 targets. If he gets anywhere near that many targets again, he should be flying over 61.5 yards tonight. So that's my favorite play in this game.
I like it. My only hesitation with that is I do think the game flow may be difficult for them to keep throwing the ball. I do think the Steelers are going to get up relatively early here and try and dominate time of possession, run the ball, limit the Giants' possessions, and that's going to lead to my play on this game, which is going to be the under 36.5. Taking a look at how these two teams have performed this year. To the under, the Giants are 6-1. They're hitting at 86%. Only one Giants game this year has gone over. They are the best record in the league to the under. If you keep taking a look to see where Pittsburgh is, they're also top 10 in games going to the under. They're hitting at 58%, and they are 4-3 at their games going to the under. So these two teams definitely play an under game script. I definitely think the Giants will try and limit Daniel Jones' mistakes because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. When you let Daniel Jones drop back and pass with the Giants having no offensive line right now, I really do think that he's going to get crushed. So I think the game plan is going to be pitches, running the ball to the outside, running the ball away from TJ Watt's side, and trying to get some sort of offense via the run. They have not been able to pass the ball for the last few weeks. Last week in the Giants versus the Eagles game, the Giants ran the ball 3 times in the first half on designed runs. They had Daniel Jones drop back and pass it 22 times in that first half. We learned, Brian Daboll, who calls the plays for the Giants, that don't work when you have a guy like Daniel Jones and you have no offensive line. I believe it was 10 or 11 sacks that Jones took that game. He was hit on his ass every 2 seconds. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. The Giants know they have to come out and run the ball. They're going to have to try and kill the clock and limit Pittsburgh's possessions as well. So give me the under 36.5. I'll let it out early. It's definitely a best play for me. JD, what do you got?
To just be really honest here, to me, this was going to be a very simple pass. I wanted nothing to do with this game. I leaned to the Giants side. The Giants getting 6. I was close there, but there wasn't a big enough edge, and I just don't feel good enough about them to actually make that play. The And then, I just started digging in a little bit more. And as far as the team totals go, something jumped out to me there. And the Steelers team total is actually under 21. And while I definitely don't think that actually this is a high scoring game, I see them getting to 21 points most of the time here. And the model, it actually has them getting to 23.6 points. So to me, this is just a pure numbers play. Because I see them, just like I said, I see them getting to 21 actually here more times than actually not. There's a lot of ways for this to happen. From what the numbers are, this technically should actually be a really big play. It's actually not for me though, so don't go like crazy on it. But just by the numbers, it should. But I need to see more of Russ. Last week, yes, he got the job done, but honestly, to me, it didn't really look great. I mean, I agree. Those actually like deep balls, they honestly sucked. They were all like underthrown. It was just a lot of stuff happening there. So I just need to see more from like him before I can like confidently make actually something like this, an actual big play. But at the number, I just have to play it though. Give me the Steelers team total over 20.5.
I was just going to ask, do you think some of that is just from not playing for so long though? Not
the rust factor, a little rusty.
Yeah.
It actually definitely could be. And that's what tonight I think actually we're going to find out. So
I think we're going to find out a lot tonight because this Giants pass rush is about the only thing that's good on this team on both sides of the ball is going to be their defensive edges where they have, Brian Burns. Kayvon Thibodeau is out yet again, but Azeez Ojulari has stepped up in a big way. They also have Dexter Lawrence clogging up the middle. So I do think it's going to be a little bit different for Russell Wilson in this game. He's not going to have as much time he did to throw against the Jets that still did not have Hassan Reddick. And really the weakness of that Jets team is the defensive line. So the Giants should be able to get a little more penetration against Russell Wilson tonight. So we will learn a lot about Russell Wilson and about the Steelers team against a team that can actually pass rush. Quickly over to the comments. I do want to pull one up because I could not agree more. And I apologize. I missed it earlier, Bill. The JD, you have a phenomenal hat on today. That line mover's hat is absolutely fantastic. Nick, nobody cares. We all know you're a massive Steelers fan, bro. You've been chirping at me for a full week and a half for this game like the Giants are any good. We all know the Giants suck. You should beat the Giants by a million. But if you don't, I will be here and expect you in chat tomorrow to go over it.
Something's fishy with that line. I'm telling you. Everyone's on the Steelers, and it's still hanging under a touchdown. Like, something smells off to me.
Yep, definitely. Something definitely does feel off. Jess is asking us if we talked about the Utah game. Are you referring to the Utah Jazz? We did not, but let us know. We can see if anyone has researched that game yet. And Logan is saying Daniel Jones interception. Weirdly, he hasn't thrown a lot of picks this year. He only has 4 on the year, which it's not great. I mean, he does still have 6 touchdowns passing.
He even sucks at throwing to the other team.
Yep, he really has not done anything well with the ball coming out of his hands today. I also think he could be out of the game. I also think by the second half, we may see a little Drew Lock action. If you guys don't know, the Giants have an injury clause that was the same thing that Russell Wilson had last year for the Broncos. If Daniel Jones is not able to pass a physical by March 20th, he gets the final 2 years of his deal guaranteed, and I believe that's just under $100 million. I don't think the Giants are going to let him continuously play when they're clearly fighting for a draft pick and not the playoffs. So more to come on that, but I wouldn't do too many bets directly on Daniel Jones because I don't know how long he's going to be in the lineup much longer. It could be tonight yet again where he does get pulled. All right, fellas. Quickly, before we do go over our best bets, I do want to go over the current promotion that we have with MoneyBall Metrics. Guys, you can get your full first month for only $20. Today's the last day you can do that, so make sure you DM the MoneyBall Metrics Twitter account, X account, Bluebird account, whatever the hell you want to call the app that you know you can find us all on, that formerly known as Twitter. Shoot us a DM. You can get all the picks for just $20. That's the best deal out there. Make sure you guys shoot us a DM to get in the Discord. The Discord is the best Discord in the world, the best community, the best people, and the best winners. Come in and hang out with us and enjoy the winners. Fellas, it's about that time. We've broken down the cornucopia of sports today, the NBA, the basketball, the baseball, and the NFL. So let's move on to our best bets. And we're going to go with the basketball one today because most of the bets that we're going over today were basketball. Ben, we're going to go over to you. What are your best bets today?
All right. Well, we're starting off in World Series Game 3. I do think the momentum shifts. Walker Buehler is not good. Clark Schmidt has been mostly good. I mean, he doesn't go super long. I believe in that Yankees bullpen, but actually I'm not worried about the Yankees bullpen because we're doing Yankees first 5 minus the half run to knock down that juice. And then, of course, we were just breaking down the NFL, and I was talking about that George Pickens play. I absolutely love the number one wide receivers have been doing very well against this Giants defense. So I do believe Russ continues that connection from last week where he targeted him 9 times for 111 yards. And then the last one in a game we did not talk about, and actually Jess asked about the Utah game. I'm assuming you're talking about the Utah Jazz, and I do have a play in that game, but it's going to be on a Maverick. I'm taking Klay Thompson to go over 4.5 3-pointers at plus money. We're getting plus money on this. He's hit it in both games this year already. On 10 attempts in game 1, he shot 6 for 10 from 3. And then game 2, he went 5 for 12 from 3. So he's hit it in both games on very high volume. And the Jazz defense is horrible. They were the worst rated defense last year. They've already given up 127 or 126 points this year. Their defense just isn't great. I think Klay and the other guys, I think they should have a good offensive game in general. But Klay, I expect to get up 10 to 12 3-pointer attempts again. So I would expect he shoots around 5 again.
Before you say any more, KO Locks may already have a play on the Jazz game inside the Moneyball Metrics Discord. So make sure you guys come in, have some fun. And if you're interested in that game, we do have some action, it looks like, inside the Discord. Is that all your best bets, Ben?
Yep, those 3.
That's it? You're not doing 5?
Nope, not 5.
We'll move on to JD. What do you got today, JD?
All right. Let's go back to the NBA here. Give me the Magic tonight. This is a great spot for actually them here. You can get them currently at actually -6. Definitely love that. In the baseball tonight, just like I was talking about, the over. I absolutely love that here in this spot. I see it is actually moving up to 9 at actually like some actually books here. So if you actually do like the over with me, I would go ahead and lock that in now. Then have to go to the Giants and Steelers game. I just have to do it. Give me the Steelers team total over 20.5 points. And then that's just like Ben did here. I'm going to go back over to the actual comment section. And Jess with the Jazz game, I have that lined at 234. So I do lean over there. It's not enough there for actually like me to play it. And then Ryan, I definitely lean Suns.
Yeah.
I lean Suns as well.
Talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, but if all 3 of us lean Suns, tread lightly. Tread lightly. I'm just kidding. Our squad rides have been pretty hot, fellas, so we've been doing well in those. We all definitely lean the Suns there. That it for JD? Is it my time to shine? My time to shine. First best bet for me is going to be the Orlando Magic 6.5. We went over why. The Pacers are on a back-to-back. It's going to be a tough game for them back-to-back on the road. Let's take that Magic -6.5. Second best bet is going to be the New York Yankees on the money line, obviously. And third best bet, we're going to the football game. We're taking the under 36.5. I do think this game's going to be very low. As I said earlier, the Giants are the best under team in the NFL. 6-1 this year to their games to the under, and this one should go exactly how the others. And guys, in case you have not been able to take a look at our best bets, we're going to leave them up on the screen. Any additional comments, please drop them in the chat. We'll be on here for another minute, waiting to see if we have any other comments. But as you can see, I'm on the Magic, the Yankees, and the under in the football game. JD's on the Magic, the Yankees over, and the Steelers team total over. And Ben is on Klay Thompson over 4.5 threes, Pickens over 60.5 receiving yards, and the Yankees first 5 -0.5. Guys, we have one more question. It looks like Joe is popping in, giving us a question before we get out of here. So let me take that down, get the question up. How do we feel about the Celtics team total tonight? That he also put that they've been killing it from 3-point land. They haven't missed this year. Do either of you guys have any action on this game?
Ooh, that's tough. Bucks are on a back-to-back, right? Yeah, that Bucks defense isn't great. Yeah, I would lean over, I guess, but the Bucks defense just isn't impressive, and they're on a back-to-back, so.
For me, blowout factor. That's the only reason that scares me. I think that the Celtics win this game like they've been beating everybody by 1 billion, then starters come out of the game. So for me, it's a no play for me. But if it was a closer matchup, I would take them. But with a 10-point line, we can really see this being a blowout early, and we could see a lot of the starters out of the game. So nothing from me. JD, anything from you?
Yeah, just like you said, so far this season, they haven't really missed. So their numbers are a little higher than what they really should be.
A little inflated.
So, yeah, I definitely couldn't bet the under, but also there's definitely no real value on actually the over. In that game, I actually almost played a prop there. The actual Dame points prop. I believe it's at 21.5.
That's low.
I came very close to actually like playing that. So.
Yeah, that's really low, to be honest. Let me pull it up here. It's now at 23.5. So everybody agreed with you. That's why you got to be in the Discord, because JD probably dropping those hints in early. Make sure you guys are in the Discord to get the best picks, the best hints, and everything like that. Fellas, that's going to do it for today's show, but we will be back same time, same place tomorrow. JD, say something to the people.
It's a brand new week. Let's start off hot. Let's get it tonight. Let's fucking win.
Amen. I agree with you. Ben, smile. Say something to the people.
Good luck on your bets. That's all I can say.
Good luck on your bets. We love it. We love it. There we go. We'll see you tomorrow. We appreciate every single one.